Haven't y'all so enjoyed this series on love?
So good.
Absolutely.
I'm like,
Hard.
goodness, it's hard. I mean, it's legit. This is real hard stuff. But we're at the point now of talking about love is patient. We keep coming back to 1 Corinthians chapter 13.
Yeah.
And there's that verse 4, where it says love is patient. And I think just to really show her faith in God, Lori asked if I would talk about this, if lightning would strike when I talked about love is patient. But I'll tell you, I've learned so much about the fact that love is patient by being a relatively new adoptive mom. Learned more about patience. And because I love Missy, there's some places where my heart is learning patience because I love her so much. About a year ago, since I brought her home from Haiti, they didn't have toilets, much less toilet paper in the part of Haiti she's from. And so when I brought her home to the States after a 2-year adoption process, she just is enthralled with running water and toilet paper. And so the first couple of years she was home, I lost count of how many times I paid a plumber to come to our house because in her just exuberance. She was super exuberant, and she likes my bathroom more than hers for a lot of reasons. But anyway, it was always my bathroom, and it got to where it was literally warping the floors in our bathroom. So at first it was cute, and then you're like, baby, this is actually like a thing. Like we've got to work
the house
on just less than a roll. And so we'd worked on it. I made up little songs about 5 squares is where it's at. I mean, I did everything I knew to gently shepherd her to be a better tissue steward. Well, about a year ago, I'm walking into my bathroom, and she likes to take baths in my bath because it's a little bigger than hers. And she's just, I mean, other than y'all's kids and viewers' kids, Missy's like the greatest kid in the history of time. Just beautiful. Well, she's in my bathtub, bubbles up to here.
Sweet baby.
I walk in and I'm going in to get something out of the shelf in the restroom where the toilet is in my bathroom. It's separate from where the bathtub is. I walk past her and she's like, hey, Mommy. And I'm like, hey, pumpkin. And I step into where our commode is and step into water because it goes down a step. And so for the 100th and some odd time, she has been enthusiastic, and once again, water is just, just overflowing with other things and I'm standing in it, and I just morph into this shrill woman, and I start fussing, and she can't see me. She's right around the corner behind me. She can totally hear me. But I was like, honey, I have told you about this. And if you clogged it up, why didn't you tell me? Because I told her, if you'll just tell me.
Yeah.
When you I can fix it faster than if you let it go for a half an hour, and then we have to call the plumber and get a structural engineer. So I'm just fussing, and then I realize she hasn't said a word. So I kind of step out of where the commode is overflowing, and there's my miracle kid with just tears streaming down her face.
Sweet baby.
And in that moment, I thought, Lisa, this is not a character issue. This is a plumbing issue. And I called our contractor, and I was like, hey, Fred, you know those toilets they have on cruise ships that'll like suck a Coke can down? I said, do those have a residential application? He was like, well, yeah, it's called a such and such toilet. And I said, are they like prohibitively expensive? He was like, no, they're like $100 more than the regular toilet at Home Depot. And I said, how soon can you put those in our house? And so by the next day, within 24 hours of berating my child for using too much toilet paper, I got new toilets. And so as soon as it was installed, I had Missy, christen the potty. And I mean, I cheered like she had won an Olympic medal because I was like, this is just not a big deal to lose my patience over. I'm gonna ruin my kid's heart over something that really is a minor thing. And I think at some level, he's not necessarily talking about toilets here, Paul, in 1 Corinthians, but when he says love is patient, I did a little word study, and that word in the original language is macrothermia. In other words, take a long time to get hot. It's about having a long fuse, about don't get angry or lose your patience unless the situation really, really calls for it. And when I think of how Father God is with me, goodness gracious, he's bought a lot of toilets on my behalf. He's been so kind. He disciplines me in kindness, but more often than not, He gives me a lot of grace.
Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe today and you'll never miss a new upload. Thanks for being a part of our Better Together community.